Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 4, the last, final, penultimate. No, that's penultimate's the second to final. The final.
Hoorah!
What's the opposite? I don't know. The final day from the GamesCom show floor 2017 Bonanza Extravaganza Superlative. I'm your host, Community Content Manager Jared Huckabee, and with me, as always, all 4 days from the GamesCom show floor, we have our esteemed panel of CIG staff and community broadcasters. Immediately to my right, say 2 words, who you are.
Hi, my name is Meyer. I'm a Twitch partner and streaming here on the booth.
Tyler Whitkin, I work in our Austin, Texas studio.
Sergeant Gamble, Twitch partner as well.
DJ Knight, Twitch partner. I play games.
And, of course, we are back on our show floor, like I said, for the final day of just a little more. We're going to squeeze a couple more hours of Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 out the door. Before we get started today with our short and abbreviated stream, we do have a couple housekeeping requests here. We have our final ship of 3.0 trading card that we've given out today. Who's got one of those? Anybody got one of those? I know you got one of those, Meyer. Yep. The final ship in the 3.0 series is the Constellation Aquila, which you saw in action during yesterday's Gamescom presentation live from the Gloria Theater. Those images and the QR code have already made it to Reddit and Twitter, so you can access that. Of course, this is a ship that's always available anyway, so you don't necessarily need, the card, but it's up there for you. So there is a cool new video that you can check out, made by our own Chris Smith, detailing some of the inner workings of the Aquila. But yeah, this pre-3.0 ship sale will be your last time to get many of these ships at their introductory prices. Not all of them will increase, but some of them may. So this is your last chance to get in there, get yourself a Nox, get yourself a Dragonfly, get yourself a Prospector, get yourself a Cutlass, get yourself a Aquila. And yeah, show me the list. So what's the other ones?
Here's the list.
And the Ursa Rover.
Yeah.
And of course, folks at yesterday's Gamescom event at the Gloria Theater discovered that there was an 8th hidden card given out exclusively by Chris Roberts and Sandy Gardner and a couple other esteemed folks. We have brought back a very limited number of Asperia Glaive reproductions. They're the limited stock SKU. Those QR codes and URLs have also made it to social media. So this is one of your last chances to get that ship. So if you're interested in the Glaive, if you've been pining after that for a while, it is currently available in limited stock. Tyler.
Yeah.
What did you do last night?
Woo. Let's just say I'm still recovering a little bit.
Let's just jump right into it. We had our 5th annual Gamescom presentation live from the Gloria Theater.
Yes.
And, well, you all know how it went. So one of the things that's interesting about our demos, we've always done our demos live. A lot of game companies will do pre-recorded stuff and like that. We believe it's very important to show the game in its state, what we can actually do, what we can actually accomplish. And that comes with all the bugs and struggles along. We only had one major crash during the event, but it was right there at a pivotal moment. We had to start the demo over.
And the thing is it would be so easy for us to just pre-record it, play a video. But that's not Cloud Imperium Games. That's not Star Citizen. No. We like it real, raw. I think it's humanizing.
Yes.
And I think we'll keep doing it that
way.
way.
One of the things that separates Star Citizen from any other game project is that we are running a live environment in the middle of our game development, which means it would be disingenuous to do all the smoke and mirrors and to show you that everything's perfect and everything's clean and everything's pristine, because that's not the state of Star Citizen right now. We are actively in development, building this game out right before your eyes. So our demonstrations have to reflect that. It's the only way we can feel honest about representing the product that we're selling. Now, does that mean the Star Citizen will always be this? Oh, heck no. We've got teams in 5 offices around the world, over 500 staff members right now, working tirelessly on building not only 3.0, but 3.1, 3.2, and the eventual beta and the eventual Star Citizen that we all know it will be one day. So it's just one of those things. We got to be true to you. We got to be true to the project and where it is in development, and that comes with the trials and tribulations inherent in it. And honestly, while we'd all love a demo that would go absolutely perfect, I don't think we'd have it any other way.
No smoke and mirrors here. You get to see it all, everything behind the curtain.
Yep. Now, DJ Gamble and Meyer, you were there watching as guests. What did you think of the presentation?
Exciting, that's for sure. Obviously, like you talked about, there's a couple of bugs in there. Ongoing process, but the whole idea of what we actually saw and what we're going to witness in 3.0 is going to be pretty exciting.
Now, when Melissa was in the rover and she was approaching the ramp of the of the Idris, we've been streaming here from the show floor for a couple days now. We've had some experiences with the ship ramps, the ship ramps in 3.0 at the moment. What were you thinking when you saw her approaching?
I was in my head. I was like,
Engine off!
turn it off.
Engine off!
Turn it
Turn
off.
off the Idris.
Just turn it off.
Yes. If you go back through the VODs from the week, you will see the Cutlass Ramp of Doom, which claimed many victims over the course of about 5 minutes, including young Squire Meyer here.
Yes. Yeah, like several times.
Yes. It would be safe to say that the Cutlass Ramp is your El Guapo.
Yes.
For some, a lack of education is their El Guapo. For you, it's a ramp at the back of a Cutlass.
Indeed.
All right. Well, what else did you think about the presentation?
I was just impressed that we got to see the Idris fly. Because if you've seen the Morrow tour, you know that the Idris is massive. So to see a ship of that size land on a planet and just seeing it from a distance and seeing how far away it was and knowing, just like you see the mountains, I can go there. Like just seeing it landing. Yeah, I was thinking, please, turn off the engine. But the fact remains that the Idris is gigantic.
Yes.
So to see something so massive flying, even if it's not in a full, like I don't care, like it's massive, flying, landing, taking off, and to see it in battle.
I mean, compared to other games, it's a level by itself,
Yeah. Yes.
flying in
Yes.
another
More than a
universe.
level.
So
Yeah.
In other
that's
games,
pretty epic.
The size of the Idris could fit a full game.
Yeah.
In a lot of other
Yeah.
Oh,
universes.
yeah.
And now, one of the biggest reveals from the Gamescom presentation was our partnership with Faceware. Now, now we've talked about the ability of having a webcam capture your face and animate your character's face. We've talked about that going as far back as the old Wingman Hangar days. But we attempted several implementations of that in years past, and we weren't real happy with the results. It wasn't until we found our partners at Faceware that we're like, okay, now we have a way that we can do this, and with a consumer level webcam. What did you think when you saw the Faceware stuff?
Faceware, when it comes out, with the voice over IP and the face over IP with Spectrum, is going to change. It's going to change the way people play the game. It's going to bring so many
Way
more
they
people into the game.
communicate, yeah.
Role playing, especially.
Yeah.
Is going to be on a whole other level. I mean, right now I stream with like a green screen. I think that I could easily stream this game without having to actually have my own presence in it, because like I will be there regardless, and I'm just looking forward to it. It's like hands down my favorite thing about the entire thing. That and the picture-in-picture, so you can call people and see their face over IP. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to give the focus on storytelling
Yes.
in role playing.
Yes.
A whole other different perspective.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Yeah.
And I got to say, I was watching the ATX QA team test this for a little while. One of the things that we didn't show off in the presentation yesterday, one of the coolest things in my opinion, is how fast that it can recognize your face. We had my roommate Bryce was sitting in his chair, and he had the dots on his face like showed in the presentation. And then he literally just like leaned out of frame, and I leaned in, and it was like immediately recognized me. The next, it's instant.
It's got a 1 second calibration.
Yeah.
It is literally, you can switch another user out, you click a button, and it's 1 second, and it recalibrates to your face. And there's a much longer in-depth version of the video that we showed during the presentation available on our YouTube channel right now if you want to learn more about the technology and how it works.
Yeah.
But it is fantastic, and yes, it does work with your standard over the from Best Buy or Circuit City. Circuit City doesn't exist anymore. Amazon, I'm an old man. Amazon or eBay, whatever, the webcams. Of course, a 60 frames per second camera will give you the best results, though. And for that reason, we have partnered with Faceware, not only in the software, but also in the hardware. There will be a branded 60 frames a second webcam that's specifically designed for low light and for optimal image quality, so that if you want the absolute best Faceware experience, you'll have that camera available to you in the near future. Of course, if you're happy with webcam you have, there's no purchase necessary.
Yeah.
You'll be able to run Faceware with most likely with the camera you have. I can't speak to every webcam out in the world, but most prosumer level webcams, a Logitech 920 or whatever. That's
Definitely works.
Yeah.
That's what QA's been testing.
Exactly.
With.
So no problems there. I'm excited for the possibilities of what it's going to do for our machinima community.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, I mean, we Star Citizen video makers have been part of this project from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And now the ability to, from the Torellians or from the Phoenix Feathers and everybody that makes these videos, now that they'll be able to add, true character, in face and whatnot. Very excited to see what they can do. As far as character and animations.
I am a voice actor on this project, so I can tell you I am.
Cool thing as well, it's actually a next step. It's not only tracking the features in the face, it's actually tracking the head movement as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes, which was another great benefit. A lot of folks, how am I supposed to take advantage of gimbaled weapons when using a HOTAS? We gotcha. We gotcha. So yeah, it's very excited about all the possibilities of this new endeavor with our partners at Faceware. So there's a slight chance some of them might come by the booth today. Obviously, they've got lots of appointments and meetings and whatnot. But if they do, we'll see if we can't snag them and take a few questions. What else we got? What else went on? What else am I thinking of?
Quantum jumping was pretty awesome. Like just seeing that again. The Constellation Aquila, seeing that flying. The entire bridge looked different from what I think we saw in previous demonstrations.
Yes.
What about all the new armors as well?
This is a newly built Constellation Aquila. Oh no, the armors. The Cloud Imperium Games color one, the blue and the white with the blue accents.
I like
that
the
is
yellow
easily
one.
my favorite. The yellow one reminds me of Beatrice and Kill Bill,
Yeah.
which I should say Bruce Lee, but it's. I like the Kill Bill movie better.
Did you guys also notice the new effects on the front of the ship during quantum travel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot more subtle than it
Yeah, it's kind of like the atmospheric re-entry effect, but different.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so with that said, let's make sure we've covered everything. We're going to get right into Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 gameplay. We have an abbreviated stream today. It's just going to be a couple hours before we head off to the Hyatt Beer Garden, which if you look down below in your activity log, if you are in Cologne for GamesCom or anywhere in the area, the biggest gathering of the week when we're here outside of our presentation is always the Hyatt Beer Garden. That's where all the developers who come in, they all go. They hang out in a beautiful, beautiful beer garden, which Germany is known for. They have them all over the place. But this one is, I think, it's exceptional. And you just get to sit back, pound a couple brews, and hang out with your favorite developers and Tyler Wicked. So,
I'll let that one go just simply because you were getting ragged on last night.
Yeah. What happened to me last night?
I had a few good ones in there.
Oh, that's right. I don't remember. Last night was a blur.
All right, Red
watch
One.
us here. This was me coming back. This was me coming back from the Gloria Theater presentation last night. I was pretty wrecked. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know how I got into this thing. Like, this was Dastro. This is Star Citizen Dastro's Big Benny's outfit, and he is nowhere to be found. I'm almost positive that Dastro was still at the event when this was occurring. So I don't know how I ended up with his outfit back at my hotel, but it's very hard. It didn't quite fit right. I'm trying to use the elevator. So anyway, it wasn't an easy thing. But yeah, last night was rough. Very tired. Actually, DJ's right around the corner. You can't see him. He's over there streaming on his personal stream last night. I saw you when I went. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get started with a little Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 action. DJ, Sergeant Gamble, you are our pilots today. Yay! What are we doing?
First of all, we were talking a little bit about what we saw. I'd just like to mention the amount of improvement that we saw on Levski. The amount of work that got put in since we last saw it on the latest demo before that. For comparison, we're now walking around on Daymar, which is right now a pretty empty, moon. We got some derelict ships here, but if you look at the amount of work that got put into Levski and the whole station, beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things that we might want to start off with is do another ship tour of the Cutlass Black. The Cutlass Black is one of the most popular ships probably in the whole Star Citizen universe right now. Everybody was anticipating the rework model. So we might want to, bring a little ship tour in.
Could be a good idea. I say go for it.
There's a couple of important upgrades. The Cutlass Black is essentially a pirate ship, but with the implementations of the side doors that you see here, it's actually it gets a new function, new profession maybe, kind of a drop ship. So you can combine that with,
especially with the 6 seats that you have in the back.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put a couple Noxes in there.
It may sound strange, but my favorite feature of the new Cutlass is the side doors.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I love the Vietnam era, Huey Chopper feeling of flying around in a Cutlass with gunners hanging out the side doors, with rail guns and whatnot, raining a bad time down on people below.
Last I heard, the side doors are meant to be shielded, so it doesn't vent our atmosphere. So that's not in just yet. But we saw the shield tech in the Idris when the ship flew through it.
I'll tell you, we started the broadcast. We started the broadcast a little late last night, and that's because we were rehearsing, trying different builds, seeing which ones were most stable and all stuff like that. And the very last playthrough before we started, literally, when the Gladius comes in to land on the hangar, we had a shot from inside. So somebody's inside, and you're watching the Gladius come through, and the Gladius hit the force field and just crumpled against the force field and exploded. And everybody burst into laughter. Chris just exploded. It was like, what? It literally did the exact opposite of what it was supposed to do. Keep the air in, but let the let the ship through. And nope, the glass literally, it just crumpled against it like it was a steel wall, and it was quite amusing. And that was the very last playthrough before we went live. So during the demo, I was like, all right, is it going to work this time or what? And luckily for both of our Gladius pilots, it did.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now is a prospector, a mining ship, essentially, 2 Cutlasses and one Gladius and one Aurora engaging each other.
Yes. All with a beautiful shot of Crusader in the background.
Oh.
Now,
That
okay,
explosion,
so
though.
if you haven't been watching the previous days, we have 10 game stations on the show floor right now. I'm going to show them to you real quick. These are the 10 game stations being manned by new people who have never played Star Citizen before. We've got this area on Daymar with a couple spawn points and a couple ships and weapons laid around. And in order to give everybody a chance to find the ships quickly and to find the weapons quickly, we reset the server every 15 minutes. So as we're playing in the same server with them, you're going to see that happen as we play too. This whole thing goes in 15-minute increments. They come in, they sit down. Our lovely volunteers here, they take a couple minutes to show them what the buttons do and how the basic functionality of the game works, and then they let them go for 15 minutes. We're playing in that same environment with them so that you can see things like Gamble just showed. You have a big fur ball with people, and then every 15 minutes we're going to have to take a break.
There it is.
There it is.
You jinx it.
I didn't jinx it. I know time sometimes. And so now you see they're in the process of swapping people out. 10 people leave and 10 more enter and whatnot. So when they get back, we'll start up another round and we can take another look at the game. In the meanwhile, I want to take a look at, we were just looking at the Cutlass. Let's take a look at the Cutlass commercial that's newly created for Star Citizen Alpha 3.0. Push the button and make the sound. Push the button and make the sound. You gotta push the button and make the sound. How you doing, Will Everett? Thanks for the. It's funny. I was actually talking to our director of player relations, Will Everett, and he couldn't hear me. He's the one that's no sound, almost like he knew that I was talking to him, and he could see. We were just checking in with you, Will. I want to make sure everything's okay. I haven't heard. I'm hoping that since you're in Twitch chat, everything's a-okay in your neck of the woods right now. So we're thinking about you guys. So what do you do? So you are strafing our little settlement here.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that maybe a ship that we haven't talked about, but which is being used in this build as well, is the Caterpillar. One of the more cargo-based ships. In this form, you're actually seeing it as a destroyed derelict ship, but it's essentially a really cool ship because it has modular components. Yeah, so you can make that a very, very long ship. It's a basic bridge, engine parts, ship parts, and then you have like modules that you can just attach to one another. How many can you attach, you think, Jared?
It maxes out at 4.
4.
So when you say the max is 4, can you make it shorter than 4?
Well, we'll know that answer when that system comes online.
Right on.
It's one of those things that's, there's intention, there's things you want to do, there's things you want to try, but until you actually get to that point in development and you actually have to implement the system, you can't speak definitively about what you can or can't do. So.
The thing I like about the Caterpillar that you're talking about actually is the fact that it's like one of the only ships that has an offset bridge.
Take him out, Gamble.
I'm having some targeting issues, but I gotta.
Yes. Now the Caterpillar side bridge module. Yes, that is spec'd out to separate from the Caterpillar at some point later in the development. So that will be very interesting because it's not a full-featured ship on its own. It's basically a lifeboat.
Right.
But checking DJ. What are you doing, DJ?
Preparing to shoot people. I figured to come inside the Cutlass. Somebody had already taken the pilot seat. But since I'm here, I might as well shoot some people.
An Ursa rover.
And I'm going to die because
checking out the landscape.
Turning hard. Feeling day.
DJ's riding shotgun and somebody's riding turret rather, and somebody's Cutlass.
I think the turrets have come a long way, to be honest, as well.
Oh yes, and they will. They continue to be in active development. You'll see continuing work on turret gameplay, not only in just 3.0, but in 3.1. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I burped.
They're actually extremely fun to use now, and they work the way you'd expect them to. Like you can actually make hits and take kills with them now.
Yeah, if you're curious about turret gameplay, you can check out the Q&A that we do for every ship sale. By the way, there is a Q&A post up now collecting your questions about the Origin 600 in the announcement section on Spectrum, should you be a Star Citizen. So submit your questions there. We'll answer those next week. But in the Q&A that we posted for the Hurricane, one of the major features of the Hurricane was its turret. And one of the 10th answer on there, I think, is a very detailed answer about the work that we're doing to explore how to make turret gameplay even more fun. Not just to make the turrets respond better or whatnot, but to actually make it so that there is an advantage to having a player in a turret for other aspects of the ship. Like one of the things we're exploring is the possibility that as turrets maintain locks on ships, it actually improves the targeting computer of the pilot of the ship and allows them to get missile locks and stuff faster. Just one of the many things we're exploring. But there's a whole bunch of options we're exploring. I can't comment on which ones are going to actually make it in the game and which ones won't. But there's a fantastic section on the Hurricane Q&A. Highly recommend you check it out.
DJ.
Yes.
What did you think was going to happen? What did you expect?
I had a feeling it was going to happen.
You shot the pilot in the head.
Yeah.
And then you just walked away.
Yeah.
I'm in situations like that, I'm not sure there's a lot of thinking going on.
But it felt good, though.
I'm sure it did. I just looked at your screen and your Caterpillar blew up. Your Cutlass blew up because there was no pilot in the seat.
Hey, I can't control the fact that the pilot had given up.
Let's bring 8 up, too. I think 8's one of our game views.
All right.
Oh, no, actually, we're just missing the game sounds from one of the things. So, no, there's no cable.
Right.
We've only got game sounds from DJ's computer at the moment. You know why that is? because I stole the wire from the Gloria Theater last night and didn't bring it back. Nice shot, you know.
Yo. So actually, that's something I believe that's relatively new in 3.0 is the relative persistence of the of player wrecks and player ships. Like the ships that blew up in the presentation yesterday, like even the Idris that got destroyed yesterday remained for the rest of the presentation as a floating piece of rubble. And I guess when the Reclaimer comes online as well, which is supposed to be the ship that takes in and takes in those broken parts of ships and vessels as resources, you know, I like that it's all there, you know? Like, I'm not sure if we're going to get, like, actual player derelicts the way you see derelicts like this, probably not. But it was really awesome to see.
You man the switch for a second, Meyer. I'm gonna try something here.
All right.
I'm gonna see if we can't get Gamble's sound back.
Okay.
Get on MacGyver something. Talk amongst yourselves.
So
Ripstrom.
what are you doing, Gamble?
I am following an unidentified ship into orbit right now, but he is kind of fast.
You know, I think he's actually flying right in the direction of Delamar. You see that star just over there, that bright light? Like, that is in the exact same direction as the constellation Aquila flew from.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, because in the demo, Daymar also looks like a tiny bright star, too. So it's really awesome that everything there are no loading screens, there is no max draw distance in this game. Everything is just there. And
I just did black out for a little bit.
you did, and
I have
think,
no idea how that happened, though.
Yeah.
He took the prospect already.
So it's actually pretty funny. Like guys, like they queue up for hours to get onto the show floor and then to play the game, and then they do stuff like this. They just fly in the direction of things that they want to go to. Yesterday, somebody came in here. He had to play. He played on some ships, and then he came a couple more times. And each time, he just wanted to fly off in one direction to make sure that there weren't any invisible walls. And there aren't, because it's 3.0. It's just like the demo version. But like
But think about the amount of games that you've played where you start on a planet and you can leave the planet, go in the atmosphere, and just head to another star and you actually go somewhere.
I know, right?
I think that is one of the milestones of this game permanently. I think a lot of people were actually anticipating the fact that they could, you know, start off on a planet or start off at space.
Yeah.
And then physically actually going into orbit. And that hasn't been seen before on this skill. Obviously, we got other games that reproducing the same kind of effect with a whole big universe, but not to this detail that we're seeing right now. So
yeah. So what are you doing now, DJ?
Right now, I'm just following this guy.
Following this guy.
I may shoot him. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out.
In the Mist Prospector, right?
Yes. Which is, I mean, this is not a battle-ready ship.
It's not a battle-ready ship or a scouting ship, but it's DJ's ship, and that's all that matters.
Right,
really.
and I can still shoot people. And that's enough for me.
Oh.
I'm making the pew-pews. We're doing it live, people.
Less QQs, more PQs.
So for those who are in the know, the Prospector has, what, 2 size 1s? Right?
Yeah, they're tiny guns.
Yeah. I think you could kill him eventually, you know, after maybe a week.
a good pilot could do good in each ship.
Oh, that's very true. That's very true. A good pilot can wreck him in seconds, but I'm just playing a DJ. So you're re-entering now, Gamble, are you?
Which it keeps amazes me, all the particle effects that we're seeing right here.
Do a spin.
A spin.
An axial roll, a barrel roll.
Oh, you want to do a barrel roll?
It's too late. It's too late now.
We're in atmosphere already.
Now. Yeah, no way. Oh.
Yeah, it was the last bit.
All right. That last bit.
Are you tired, guys?
Yeah, we can honestly say that we're pretty tired.
Energy drinks.
But you know what's awesome? Coffee.
Yeah.
The problem is I always look like this.
I mean, it's been a long week. We've been up and about, you know, since Thursday. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Tuesday. And it's been long days. Not a lot of sleep. I think we're maxing out on like 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And then it's early rise in the morning and doing a full day.
What can you do? No rest for the wicked, they say.
Exactly.
For those in Twitch chat, like no YouTube. Yeah, no YouTube for tonight, for today. Just the first 3 days. Oh, watch us on Twitch.
So, yeah. Oh, nice crash, Gamble. Nice crash. Yeah, I still can't get over the... Are you going to crash into him? No, you're not. The field of view in the Myth Prospector
is glorious.
It is glorious.
Straight big runs. Oh, man. Harvest the zone. Boo.
So, while DJ is flying around, what are you doing, Gamble?
I am walking around in the spawn zone, see if I can get any vehicles or ships that are not taken just yet.
Right. Well, I think that the railgun actually spawns right where you are, in that box to your right hand. So,
And
no.
the switch happens.
Yeah.
Where's the button?
Change places.
Change places. So another 15-minute reset as 10 people escape the show floor Thunderdome, and 10 more competitors are brought in. That's okay. I'm going to take a look at the Ursa commercial. The Ursa commercial was probably my favorite of the ones from the Ships of 3.0 series. Not to say that the other ones aren't great. It's just well, you'll see it when you see it. I adore the Ursa.
I just love looking at the cycle.
See, we're leaving the microphones on, so I can't forget to turn them back on. That's it. You can't be muted when you're supposed to be talking. Never mute when you're not supposed to be talking. Words?
Nothing. So, Disco, what would you say is your favorite, like, ground vehicle in Star Citizen?
My favorite ground vehicle in Star Citizen right now is one we don't have access to in the build at the moment, which is the Dragonfly.
Right.
The Dragonfly, for instance, this question has come up a while. The Dragonfly is one of the ships of 3.0. Because we are playing the latest development build of 3.0 right now, the Dragonfly, while its work has been generally completed for some time, it was about 4 days ago, whatever the series of builds that started about 4 days ago, the Dragonfly flight mechanics became erratic. And thus far, it's not suitable to play at the moment. You know, it's one of those things that'll be bugged up, and a designer will have to work on it, or a programmer, or whenever they figure out how the flight mechanics of it got distorted, they'll have to fix it. But at the moment, look at the reflection. Hold on, DJ.
Yeah, DJ.
Look at the reflection in the window of the Aurora.
Yeah. Of the horizon behind it. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, I just noticed that. So, but when the Dragonfly is operational, and it will be operational again shortly, it is my favorite of the ground vehicles so far. I'm a Drake fanboy, not just of his ships, but his music and his work on Degrassi. So,
Aurora, you're my everything. The ship I always wanted.
So a few guys in the chat were asking earlier before the stream started. We had a whole bunch of Star Citizen songs playing. Where are those from exactly? And do we have any new ones in the mix?
The Star Citizen, the tracks that were playing during the pre-show, those are tracks that have been released publicly by Star Citizen composer Pedro Camacho.
Right.
So basically, I'll tell you exactly how I got them. I got them exactly the same way you got them. I Googled Star Citizen Pedro Camacho and found a page where another industrious fan had collected all of the tracks together, and I said, well, that's easy, and I grabbed them. And I've been using that playlist for about the last 15 months, going back to RTP and whatnot. Now we had a crash, so that was not a 15-minute reset. We actually had a server-wide crash, so everybody is loading in. These happen occasionally. Yesterday we didn't have a single one.
Not a single one.
Yesterday we didn't have a single one. On Wednesday we had one. Or no, on Thursday we had one.
Yeah.
And then on Wednesday the day before we didn't have any. So, you know, overall it's been a pretty solid build. So this is to be expected, you know, with such an early build. We are back in. Sergeant Gamble, you look like the first one in, so you have your choice of any vehicle on the level. Gamble, what are you gonna do?
Apparently, I'm looking around for a couple of vehicles. I don't see that many.
So,
So it looks like it wasn't a server crash. It was a server-wide client crash. Then.
right.
Because the server environment is still the same.
So
Well,
I don't know.
in that case, we're gonna hop into the Ursa rover.
Oh, nice.
Do it.
Because there was one thing that I noticed about the Ursa rover that I didn't point out in the stream, and I think it just goes to show the level of, I guess, detail and fidelity they want to go with this project. But if you look, Gamble, at the seats when you go inside, the seats where these guys are, right in the back, and look below, there are actually gravity generators right there to keep the guys seated,
Yep.
so you don't need a seat belt when you're going and driving around the rough terrain of planets and moons and stuff. But I thought it was pretty interesting. Like, there's actually like a bit of lettering down there that says grav generator and stuff.
It could cause for potential problems, though, because if the only thing that are stuck are your feet, that means your upper body is still able to go everywhere.
I want to address a comment from Sir Burticus in chat. He's having trouble with the picture quality right now. He says yesterday it was 1080p and smooth. Now it's 360. We are still broadcasting at 1080p, 60 frames a second. We have enhanced transcoding options with our Twitch channel. When something like this happens, when you're finding you're getting stuttering or whatever, there are two things you can often do to fix that with our increased transcoding options that Twitch provides us. One, you can use the little gear in the lower right corner, switch to a different transcoding option, and then switch back to the one that you're trying. That fixes it almost every single time. It works great for sound desync issues as well. Additionally, something I found personally is Twitch also does an HTML5 version of the broadcast and a Flash version of the broadcast. And you can switch between the Flash version and the HTML5 version. Sometimes, depending on which browser you use, the browser is going to do one better than the other. So between those options, you can fix almost every broadcast issue on Twitch. So check those out. Because this is buttery smooth right now.
So where are you going, Gamble?
I am going to check out one of the other new ships that we haven't seen before, and is in engine now, is the Miss Prospector.
The Prospector.
Yes.
So you're gonna like check out the interior, right? Of the Prospector.
And the exterior
And
as
the
well.
exterior.
I'm gonna, living large, we're gonna do it all. So the Miss Prospector is essentially a mining ship. Now, mining is not yet a system that is implemented into the build that we're having right now.
Mining's not a system, it's a man. That was a Lando joke.
That was a Lando
Apparently
joke.
so.
Hey, buddy.
To another question in the chat, does Mobiglass work in our GamesCom build? It does not. Mobiglass has been disabled. In order to, as I said, Star Citizen Alpha 3.0 is not quite ready for prime time. You saw that in last night's demo. If you watched that, you'll see that in our burn down segments on ATB and in our weekly production report. In order to make this as stable as possible for the folks playing here, so because they only have 15 minutes, we've disabled a number of features that have been causing issues that we're still tracking bugs down for. And one of those is Mobiglass, and the other one was quantum travel, which is why we cannot leave the surface of Daymar. Well, we can leave the surface of Daymar, but we can't leave the proximity of Daymar at the moment.
Yeah, good thing about to point out on the Prospector is that its design. You can actually see with all the manufacturers that are in-game are responsible for the build of the different ships is what?
He said fake.
Fake.
Okay. I didn't say nothing.
But that it actually has the same design level. So, for example, the Prospector does remind me a lot of the same design build as, for example, the Freelancer, which is another
MISC ship.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, I gotta add. But it's a cool feature that Star Citizen is actually building ships
Yeah.
based on different kind of in-game manufacturers, and that they actually have a design blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah. Gives you the
Somebody's knocked the camera, and it's blurry anyway. So
Right.
keep going.
Yeah, I mean, like when you're playing a game that's kind of meant to be its own living, breathing world, like it's great to have these like manufacturers that you can go and say, okay, I recognize that brand, I recognize that, that's my favorite type of ship, that kind of thing. So like the speeder bike that DJ is flying right now is an alien ship, actually. That's part of an entire line of alien ships by one alien species.
Somebody in the chat says, can you give us a quick rundown on what features we saw yesterday that will make it into 3.0? It's quicker if I tell you what's not. The Idris is not in 3.0, and the voice over IP is not in 3.0. Other than that, everything you saw in the demo yesterday was 3.0.
I'm highly looking forward to. He pointed out there were something like 26 mission archetypes.
Yes.
And that they'll all be able to blend together to make random missions. That in and of itself is
Yeah, so you could essentially play
ridiculous.
millions of different kind of missions.
Like
Yeah.
that's glorious.
So it's something that many games always say, like, you know, like there is an infinite amount of gameplay. No gameplay session will ever be the same. And with 26 options, and then like the ability for them to chain and for one to influence the other, and not to mention the counter missions as well. Really, no gameplay session is ever going to be the same.
One of the questions from chat says, was there a reason why you guys decided to pick the Gladius for our show floor demo instead of, say, the Hornet, Saber, Avenger, or Buccaneer? Yes. That's because every ship in the game, every ship that is flyable in the game is undergoing a 2.0 conversion for 3.0. An item system 2.0 conversion for 3.0. So the Gladius was the very first ship. It was the test bed. It was the very first ship converted to 2.0. So it's the ship that we've had the most time with, ship that we've had the most shakedown time with. So it was basically the one that we felt was most comfortable not to cause crashes and bugs at the moment, because those are the things that we're still tracking down. So basically, in our effort to give everybody the best 15 minutes they can, we went with the safest ships that we could provide for them. So, because we talked a little bit about this yesterday. I'm just watching you take off in that prospector.
That was calculated in.
When we say this system is done and this system is done and this system done, the work on those individual systems, like the person working on that, like say the Dragonfly, for instance. I'm building the Dragonfly. This person builds the art for it, and then he hands it over, and this person does the animations to it, and this person hands it over, and this person does the rigging for it, hands it over, and this person does the LODs, and this hands it over, and this person does the FX, and then at that point, boom, and then it hands over to the programmers, and they apply and they work on the physics, how it flies, how it handles, and then they go, okay, the Dragonfly is done, and then we add it into game dev. We integrate it in with all the other systems of Star Citizen, and then half the things are broken. That's game dev. That's why you can sit there. You can see an ATB one week where it's like, oh yeah, work on this is done. Then that's work on the individual system. Now it's got to go through a whole nother process where it gets integrated with all the other systems of Star Citizen, and that's basically where the majority of bugs come from. It worked on my machine, and then you start putting them together, and now you have to find the places where things conflict, the places where this system on the Dragonfly makes this system on the Freelancer go crazy, and you have to figure out where the conflict is and stuff like that. So that's why the Dragonfly, for instance, was working great up until Tuesday, and then some other addition to our 3.0 build has caused the Dragonfly to have some trouble. So our developers are working on that, and that's
That's what you get. That's karma.
you earned it.
That's pre-karma.
I'm okay with that,
DJ.
Yeah. He's in Aurora. I figured he was going to get himself wrecked. But I figured to, assist in the process. And somebody else took care of that for me.
Captain Armpit says, Captain Armpit. How you doing, Captain Armpit? As the Prospector does not come with signed containers, it does. It's just they're not necessary for this build right now.
Cool thing to point out is the animations on the ship as well. Where you go to like landing mode into combat mode or a different flight mode.
Yeah.
Is that it's so detailed. It's so realistic, so cool. So
like for instance, how the jets are pointing down.
Yeah.
Which explains why you could hover.
Right.
And the jets themselves aren't just graphics. They're actually there, and their presence in the game is what's making the ship fly. Like if one jet on one side gets blown up, then the other jet then has, and the maneuvering thrusters on the ship then have to compensate for it. If they can't, then the ship will start rolling, and it gets really, really difficult to fly. Like, every single thruster, every giant jet, every thruster on the side are all calculating the movements in real time, and it's actually a really, really crazy, really nuanced system.
Question from Perhilion Olenard says, will we be able to use rented ships with Rec in the persistent universe? Your name's gone, I don't remember it now. You're going to want to check the VOD for our Day 2 broadcast. We had Aaron Roberts, Director of Global Development and head of Foundry 42 UK. He talks a bit about you will eventually be able to buy ships with Alpha UEC. That's basically our version of renting ships with Rec, because Alpha UEC is still a temporary currency. That is not coming online in 3.0. We are shooting for 3.1. As with anything else, we'll know more about whether it will actually be in 3.1 when we're much closer to 3.1's completed development. But yes, you will be able to acquire these ships for use in the game.
Oh, I missed the explosion.
Yeah, I just heard it.
At least we get to do a quick strafe of the rubble.
Yeah, that was cool. I wonder what happened to the pilot. He probably
hopefully dead.
He probably turned the engine off by accident.
Elijah, he asks, will the Prospector be allowed in Vandal Swarm so we can have an all Prospector Vandal Swarm? Probably. I don't have the answer to that right now, but given the choices we've made with other things, we are not a nanny state. We're not here to prevent you from doing ill-advised things. So I would say chances are pretty good. That you will be allowed to fly an all Prospector Vandal Swarm should you choose. I don't imagine you'll get very far though. But that's on you, man.
It looks like Gamble's got his hands on the railgun now.
Yes, everybody. I raced a guy on the show floor. Probably one of the
change places.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yep. And now we've got a swap.
Change places.
All right. Let's see what other questions do we have from the chat. Justice says, will the Cutlass Blue go on sale? Yes, the Cutlass Blue will go back on sale most likely when it gets added to the game. Whenever a ship gets added to the game, there's always a welcome to the game sale. That is probably the next time the Cutlass Blue will go on sale. That's not to say there might not be, it might not go on sale sometime before then, but since I'm the guy that makes those schedules and stuff like that, the next time I can see it going on sale is when it goes in the game. That doesn't preclude the possibility that I'm not going to wake up next week and go, we should have a something blue wedding sale because something's getting married. And excuse to put one up there. I don't know, but when it goes into the game, that's the one that you can count on.
So,
what else we got?
Someone in chat asked if we could see more of the Cutlass Black rework. So I guess the best way to do that would probably be to do some multi-crew action as well, because I think somebody also asked about like how redding out and blacking out works in multi-crew as well. Both I guess we could show that both on in the crew positions and also just like off it too, because I believe it works on both.
You gonna grab a Cutlass?
Yeah, we can.
All right, cool. I'm gonna grab a few weapons. Hey, nice knots.
Question says, are there racing ships in the game yet? There's several racing ships in the game. The 350R is flyable in the game right now. The Origin M50 is flyable in the game. The Razor is currently slated for 3.1. We'll see if it makes 3.1 much closer to that time, but that's slated to come online in 3.1. What other racing ships are there? The Archimedes is a racing snub ship. I don't know when that's coming. That's a little farther away on the horizon, but there are several racing, and of course the Nox is a racing bike. A space bike as opposed to a racing ship, and that is available in Star Citizen Alpha 3.0.
So DJ, where are you, man?
I'm looking for you right now.
Yes, and I think
right next to you.
I think the enterprising pilot will find that the Buccaneer is also a very suitable racing
See that
ship.
as you
The
walking
Buccaneers
towards me,
ripped.
probably.
Another new citizen just touched the ground a bit too hard there.
Yes. Yeah, one of the things that we've discovered about this Cutlass, look how menacing the Cutlass looks right there, is that the Cutlass is a bit tanky. We've seen everything from Gladiuses to Ursas try their best going head-to-head with a Cutlass. And when I mean head-to-head, I mean physically head-to-head in contact. And the Cutlass come out the winner. Yes. And, of course, the Racing Herald. Hey, the Herald is perfectly fine drag racer. If you wanted to do drag racing on a straight line, you could absolutely race Heralds.
Easy does it. Ooh, okay.
All right, let me cut the engine first.
Death ramp.
Because we know what causes the bugs.
And you want to open the door?
Yes.
Thank you. Teamwork.
Oh,
Ooh, somebody else just got blown up.
they were getting shot as well, so we might want to
right,
get
we're-
out of here.
Oh, you're a tank.
Dip out. You want to unlock doors?
Z-Star says, is there a plan in later versions of putting
get
on
that
clothes
as
in
well.
a more immersive way,
Thank
like
you.
going to a locker instead of a motorglass? Right now in the game, you go to a locker to change your clothes. The motorglass is one additional way to do that. We still intend to have your personal lockers and stuff like that. So if the question is ever, will there be a more immersive way, the global answer is we're certainly going to try it. Whether we succeed in it, whether we're able to get to it, whether we're able to make it work with other systems in the game, that always, of course, remains to be seen. But if it's something to pursue, we're absolutely going to pursue it, because the name of the game at the Star Citizen is immersion.
Whoa.
Oh, is that the shotgun?
Whoa. It is.
Right.
Tis.
Your landing gear's still down.
Yep.
Well, it's well known that the Cutlass is 15% more tanky with the landing gear down.
We are getting shot.
Let me see that pilot view again, Gamma.
You love that pilot.
I love that pilot view, especially with the
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
You're being
All
hit.
right. All right, we're losing some engine power right now.
So that was actually a really cool demonstration of the new animations for taking fire. The pilot actually starts shaking, and there's a
Yeah.
really visceral feeling.
That explosion, though.
I mean, I saw a DJ was like shooting out the sides with the shotgun.
Because I thought I had the real gun. Because the shotgun is massive. I was like, oh, this will do it. Let's get in here. And I was way wrong.
Yes. Well, see, V4 Voluntarism says immersion, except for the sound and space. Well, that goes to what Meyer was just talking about. One of the things you need, remember, this is also a video game, because you can't be in the cockpit to actually feel, the hum of things and stuff like that. We have to provide you with indicators that let you know what's going on, to let you know that things are happening. And so, you take this thing all the way to the step of immersion, and then you got to bring it back to the point where it makes for proper and adequate gameplay. And that's a little bit about what that is.
So someone asked, what is the name of the missed racing ship? It's called the Razor.
The Razor.
Yeah.
And it looks beastly. It looks like an F1 car.
It does look like it.
And actually, I thought the in-lore explanation for why you can hear things is that,
You have ears.
well, yeah, but the headset generates some of the audio.
Yeah, it modulates the audio.
Right. So if things are going on near you, it positionally creates a sound so you can hear what's going on.
Yeah,
Even though in space everything is silent.
Yeah, there's a really old video that I made on YouTube about that as well. Like, all the sounds sound like they're in space when you're inside the cockpit of the Aurora, and then when you sit down, all of a sudden, from when you're getting in, you hear the fans start ticking. But then when you're inside the seat and it gets engaged, then you hear everything else. It was really cool.
You see at the bottom of Gamel's screen there an example of the new hint system that's coming with Star Citizen Alpha 3.0.
yes.
Star Citizen is even in its incomplete state, is a fairly complex game. we had a tutorial at one point because we realized the changes to Star Citizen were being made so actively and so frequently that a tutorial couldn't keep up with it. So the hint system is a much more malleable form for us at this point in development to keep the helpers up to date. And of course, when development of Star Citizen reaches a more stable point, reaches a more complete point, we can go back and look at a tutorial that will actually encompass all of those things. Now, Gamble, you are flying the newly revamped Aurora.
Yes. Made by Mr. Elwin Batchelor Jr. and his team.
With the door open, I might add.
With the door open, yeah,
yes.
and
the ladder
landing
out.
gear, yeah, the ladder out, yeah. You can close both of those from the inside, I think. The same way you can in the Cutlass.
Let's see. We haven't actually tried that.
Yeah, so using the inner thought system again, or the interaction system, you can do a lot of things that you previously couldn't. Before, it was a very binary thing, getting in a ship, getting out of a ship, but now you can do everything from turning the power on for just the interfaces to the actual engines and thrusters. Everything can be put on and off incrementally, or if you wanted to and you don't have time for immersion, you can just press one button and it's like it was in the good old days as well.
Elfwin42 in chat asks, is the 600i Explorer actually named 615p? I'm going to direct you to the Q&A thread in the announcement section of Spectrum. You should post that question there or find somebody else who's posted that question and upvote that because we will be taking the top 10, 15, 20 questions that are voted on in that thread and posting a Q&A on that ship on Wednesday. So that's what that's for. I'm going to reserve all 600i related answers for that Q&A. Snowcrocs asks, will there be a higher player limit per instance in the next patch? That's one of those things that comes through testing. We don't know that until we get it into the hands of Evocati, until we get it into the hands of wider PTU. The thing that determines how many players will be in an instance is the testing that we go through with you guys. That's why we open it up. So right now we're working on, getting all the bugs and the blockers and stuff that we're well aware of, done now, and then the testing that you guys provide in Evocati level, in PTU level, and of course, even in our live environment, it's still alpha, it's still a testing environment. All aspects of Star Citizen are a testing environment. You will let us know through the metrics that we see when you log in what our player limits will be. So it's not a question that has an answer just yet.
So someone asked a question about NPC missions in 3.0. Well, I can't speak for raids. NPC missions will be in the game. I believe it's still the Miles Eckhart ones, and the second one, I forget the name of that NPC. And
I don't know who you're talking about.
Right. So the Miles Eckhart mission. Wow, it's so loud here. It is.
DJ!
What's happening?
DJ,
Yes.
these fine people here have waited in line for over an hour to get their 15 minutes of time in Star Citizen, and DJ's like, no, not yours. Mine. My time.
I plead the fifth. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just exploring
about
in
Rudo?
an Ursa
Yeah,
rover.
Ruto, the other NPC.
Yes.
And then there are 26 different, like what they call mission archetypes for 3.0 as well. And so that means like let's call one archetype, for instance, a fetch quest. Like you go there, get one of that. That's one archetype alone. There are 25 more of those, including, I believe, counter missions as well. So you might have a fetch quest to go get something. Somebody else might get a mission to go protect something at the exact same time. And so that's another way that they'll be able to, in such a vast play space, bring the players together as well.
Gotcha. Rick3961 says, will the Constellation Phoenix still be viable? Well, it depends on viable for what? Depends on what you want to use it for. The Constellation Phoenix has a hot tub. if you're trying to take people on if you're trying to take a lovely lady or lad to Space Mountain in your hot tub, well, the Constellation Phoenix is going to be a whole lot more viable for that than the 600 is, which doesn't have a hot tub. So it all depends on what you're trying to do with the ship, of course.
Well, like, brand loyalty
yes.
exists even in real life. So you might just be a die-hard Robert Space Industries in the game fan, and so you might really, really want just to have only RSI ships, the Aurora, the Constellation.
Yes.
So to you, your idea of luxury would be the Constellation Phoenix, and you'd be like, I don't care for Origin and their pish-posh ships, you know, because that's your ship, right? And you can always upgrade that to your standards. I mean, like, the ships that we're getting right now are just the ships at their base state. You'll always be able to upgrade them with more weaponry and change things out, that kind of thing, and make it yours.
And
pish-posh ships.
And if I can speak unofficially, if I can take off the Star Citizen a bit and just be a fan like you guys, the Constellation Phoenix, it's from Roberts Space Industry. It's literally a ship with Chris Roberts' name on it. I don't think you're going to have to worry about it. Let's just leave it at that. All right. We are loading in our next round of 15 minutes there. There was a question that's come up a couple times in the chat. I can't remember where it was, but it was like, Jared, why do you prefer the Dragonfly to the Nox? Because, well, I mean, look at me. Do I look like somebody who's going to ride around in a fancy alien BMW? It's too fancy for me. Look, what is this thing on my head right there? Look at that. I just had something on my head and flicked it off. I'm old and broken. And so I relate to I relate to Drake. That's why. That's really the only reason.
I actually see a question I find intriguing.
Long back.
Can you stop reading questions that are better for you and read the ones that are obviously skipping, like is there gravity? What will we get with 3.0? Exactly. Not only is there gravity, there's gravity inside of a ship to the point where you can have a ship inside of another ship. That has been seen. A lot of the details of things that are going to be in 3.0, if you were to review the VODs, or go to reddit.com/r/Star Citizen, you can see a lot of the things that we've been discussing over the time that we've been here have been discussed.
Yeah, so
a lot of the 3.0 features have already been mentioned. And that's why he said earlier, it's probably easier to name the things that are not going to be in 3.0, just because they've talked about a lot of them.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them.
Ship in Ship is actually something that's been featured in one of the weekly Around the Verse shows that RSI push out every week. And
okay, hold on real quick. Here's a question I've been waiting for from Felix Berger. Love that name, by the way. Felix Berger. What is the Origin X1?
Origin.
I'm literally only one of 4 people in the whole world who know. And you'll have to wait to find out.
What is the Origin X1?
Whoa! Very loud.
Problematic.
Problematic.
Dead, more like it.
No. The Origin X1 is not the Origin Rover. The Origin Rover is the Origin Rover. The X1 is something else.
Oh.
Speaking of rovers, so the Constellation Aquila, I believe, comes with the Ursa rover.
Aquila. I'm not going to even recognize that you're speaking to me if you keep calling it Aquila.
The Constellation Aquila has an Ursa rover, correct?
The Constellation Aquila comes with an Ursa rover and P-52 Mustang.
Right.
No, P-52 Merlin.
Right. Because we know that the Constellation Phoenix comes with a different rover. It's called the Lynx, I believe?
The Lynx.
Yeah. And we haven't really seen any images of it, but we know that it's a luxury rover. So I guess that's another one up from the 600i, if you wanted to like compare brands or something.
Dream States asks, will the Merlin that comes with the Andromeda, let's bring the game down.
Yeah.
Will the Merlin that comes with the Andromeda finally be able to undock on 3.0? No, it will not be able to undock in 3.0. That system is still in the works. No ETA at this time. Daddy Catch says, can't hardly wait until the Cyclone is drivable. I believe in you, Daddy. You can wait. That's not the first time I've said that sentence.
I believe in you, Daddy.
Probably won't be the last. How about the Carrack? Asks Two Species 5618. Does it still have a rover? Yes, the Carrack still has a rover. We'll find out more about that when the Carrack goes into active development.
So, guys, we still haven't seen the Scourge railgun. Have you managed to find one yet?
I think DJ is looking for one.
Yeah, hunting for one.
Did you pick one up yet?
Got a shotgun just now.
All right.
It'll happen, though. It'll happen.
Because something that we did before was we shot each other with railguns, but we didn't really... I don't think we got the most out of that. I'd love to see like a railgun sniper battle, to be honest, and see who won. To be honest, like I'd like to know who would win in a race with the Noxes after yesterday's race.
I don't trust you in races.
Well, I'm sitting over here.
I still don't trust you in races. Anytime you bring up race, I want no parts. A Meyer race is going to have a million rules. Found
One
it.
of the most common questions we often get asked is being asked right now by Arca Exitum. Will a Dragonfly in landing mode fit in an Avenger Titan? And will a Merlin fit into a Cutlass? You know what? Those are questions you guys are going to provide the answers for to us. One of the things that we often discover is just because you can fit an item physically into another item, it does not mean that you can secure it. It doesn't mean that you can easily enter and exit it. What did we do the other day? We got a
Nox into an Ursa rover.
Oh yeah.
we had a Nox into the back of an Ursa rover. Technically, it fits, but you can't operate it. You can't get into it. You can't get out of it. And when you try to move, you can't, because you can't secure it. You end up just destroying one or both of them. So it's one of those things that you're gonna discover through gameplay. Because these ships are all made by different manufacturers. You know that's not just a marketing thing or an immersion thing. When RSI is making a vehicle, they're not thinking about whether it's going to fit, you know, some parasite craft from Origin, and vice versa. It's like that. So you will discover through gameplay what you can effectively use within what, and we like it like that.
So
yeah, baby.
DJ, where you go?
I like it like that. I actually have no aim. I thought that might have been a ship, but it's a big rock.
I guess you're in the Ursa Rover, so I guess you're going exploring, right?
Always. I think I have company here with me. So
we have an Admiral Sloth _CIG in the chat asking if the 600i comes with a Roomba.
A Roomba.
Save it for the Q&A thread,
disappointed.
Admiral Sloth. You put that on there, and if it gets enough votes, we'll answer it. Jared, can one of the streamers show us what happens if you turn off your engines mid-flight?
Well, let's do it.
All right, Gamble. You are being shot, though, so I think one way or another you're going to die here.
Have faith.
Let's do it fast then. Power off.
So power off just turns off the MFDs. You haven't turned the engines off, though.
Well, no, yeah. Look, it's drifting.
Oh,
There it is.
Power off is power off.
Power off is power off, Meyer.
So what's the difference between power off and engines off?
Well, your scanners and everything are still working. All the things that aren't your engines are still powered.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm okay.
It's like engines off is me turning off the monitor.
Right.
Power off is me pulling the power strip.
Aha, I see. All right.
Analogies. They're what's for breakfast. Now, one of the things that we've noticed in these builds of Alpha 3.0 is that collisions with the ground are far less deadly
Can you come and save me?
than they are in other times.
I'll
We'll see how that iterates between now and its eventual release.
You could actually easily save him with a ship, to be honest.
I gotta look at the camp, so when I get a ship, I know where to come to find you. All right, so you're way out.
Probably.
Question from Doomslayer says, why does the Origin 600i not have a loaner ship right now? Probably just because with all the Gamescom craziness, it just hasn't happened yet. The loaner for the 600i will almost certainly be the Constellation Andromeda that's playable in the game. So it's one of those things when I get back to local Los Angeles civilization, we'll work out. Most people aren't going to own the 600 as their only ship. It's not designed to be your only ship in the universe kind of thing. So, you know, it's not a pressing priority, but I'll get to it.
And all the ships are gone, man.
That guy's going for your ship hard, man.
In fact, if Admiral Sloth is still in the chat or still watching the thing, maybe he can fire off an email for me. If not, I'll take care of it later.
Man, that is beautiful, dude.
He was my last hope.
Look
And
at the
he's
trails coming
leaving.
off the ship.
Belmomo says, can you show the Constellation Aquila? We cannot. The Constellation Aquila is not in our build. So we cannot show it at this moment.
Is any ship designed
I have
to be your
a
only
neat
ship?
little training card. And of course, if you want to see the Constellation Aquila in action, you can watch last night's Gamescom presentation, where it was in action.
Can we see Cutlass with pilot and co-pilot? We'd have to get there at the start, because right now all the Cutlasses are gone.
A
Right.
very well thought out and considered question from Buttzillion. He asks, BMM? Yes, BMM stands for the Banu Merchantman. And there won't be any new information or any new images or anything new about the Banu Merchantman until it goes into active development. And you can see what's in active development on our production schedule report that comes out every Friday. You will see that the Banu Merchantman is not in active development right now. So when its time comes, there will be more information to give. But until then, I can't share what doesn't exist.
Baldrick 001 says, hi. Hi.
Hi.
Mr. Veer, his name passed by, says, will in-atmosphere flight physics be improved eventually? Like most things in Star Citizen, they will be improved continually as the game iterates. Remember, this is the very, very first iteration of atmospheric flight and combat. Almost nothing in Star Citizen is final. This is a game in active development right now. So as each patch goes on, work continues on various systems. Who knows what's going to be improved and what's in what ways? But I think our track record speaks for itself between the game when it first came out versus the game that we're playing right now. It will continue to be improved on, and it will continue to be iterated on. And I think you might be pleasantly surprised. At least I hope so. Hi, Mom. Question from Hadroon says, will we be able to name our other ships in the future? Yes. The specific plans for the other ships and whatnot are still being worked on and actively developed. He asked this question because we just introduced the very first name your ship option for the 600i that's on sale right now. Those are names. So there's a whole FAQ on Spectrum, so that you can go to the announcement section on Spectrum. Wonderful FAQ posted by Admiral Sloth. Can speak to more detail about it than I can at this very moment with my 7-day fried brain at the moment. But that is the very first implementation on the very first ship. And as again, the Star Citizen's development continues, we will eventually add the ability to name more and more ships.
So somebody asks. Question, when standing still and waiting for recovery from a player or NPC, how long does your suit of oxygen last, roughly? Well, it depends on just how patient you're waiting. If you're walking about pacing and looking around and exploring, it'll take considerably less time to die than if you were just to sit there and wait. I think the other day, Gamble actually left his PC on for quite some time, and he was okay. How long was it again?
It was about an hour and a half, and when we saw it, it had a minute left of oxygen left.
Yeah,
so.
it's perfect timing. So he was in this demo, at least in this iteration of the game. There's about an hour's worth of oxygen in the tank. The more you move, the more oxygen you consume. Like when he had a minute left, he then started moving. And the moment he started sprinting, it went from 60 seconds of oxygen to 30 to 20. He stopped, it went up a bit, and then he sprinted again, and he passed out and died. So yeah, like roughly about an hour. There are relief stations dotted around all the moons. There are examples of that within the game right here as well. I guess we could show that to you guys soon as well, where you can go ahead and refuel your oxygen and stuff as well.
One of the questions from chat says, can I name my 600i Bodie McBoatface? I think you're too late on that, actually. I was just looking at some of the names that folks have already chosen. We just pulling some out at random. We have the 600i Amerigo Vespucci is flying out around there. We have the we have the 600i Battlestar Galactica.
Nice.
We have the 600i Balt's Fault. Oh. Although, considering we don't allow naming after developers, that name's probably not going to survive. Sorry, Balt's Fault. Let's see. We have the 600i Definitely Compensating. That's been chosen out there. Here's a person after my heart, the 600i David Bowie.
Nice.
The 600i Douglas Adams has been registered. Let's see, what else do we have out there? The 600i Event Horizon is out there. Okay. The 600i Floaty McFloatspace has been registered. So Bodie McBoatface might still be available, Hans Yolo 42. So you have to buy one to find out, though. Insert sinister laugh.
How did you miss that?
Let's see, what else do we got?
I have no idea.
Let's see. Okay.
You might get that one. It's a bigger
target. The 600 no, that's not going to last. The Nautilus. Well, okay. There's a 600i Nautilus, Nautilus 2, and Nautilus 3.
Whoa.
So
almost.
Have to lead a little bit more.
Yeah, 5 more shots left.
What else we got there? The 600i Scotland. The 600i Sir Francis Drake.
Come on, you have 4 shots left.
The 600i Sleeky McSleekface.
I think you hit him in the tail.
It's possible.
Oh, geez. Wait, the 600i The Screaming Narwhal.
Narwhal.
You overcharged it. You have to try again.
Yep.
And finally, the 600i
Oh.
8 what?
Switch it.
The 600i 8 what? That might be my favorite at the moment. All right, now, is that a switch or a crash? I can't tell. I wasn't watching.
Everybody.
might be a crash.
It's a system-wide one. So
Yeah, it looks like looks like a crash because nobody's getting up. So, 2 today. We do have a new build. We have a new build that was added just this morning.
Yeah.
So folks are looking at that. Let's see what other questions we have from
Will the missions be
chat.
shareable? I believe Aaron said
Yes.
The other day that would be the case, that you
that
can
is
share your missions.
Phenomenal. For a multiplayer game to actually facilitate multiplayer is huge to me because it may be surprising, but there are several multiplayer games out there that give you missions that you're not allowed to share, and it's basically a single-player experience in a multiplayer environment.
Yep. Tish Cadaver says, will there be a high-quality version of the Gamescom presentation like last year? This one already was. The Gamescom presentation was broadcast in 1080p, 60 frames a second, and at a nearly 10,000 bit rate. So the entire presentation is the high-quality presentation this year. We made a lot of improvements to our live streaming equipment, and we now no longer have to worry about that stuff. No more interlaced picture.
You want to try another release and catch?
So the version that's up there is the high-quality version that you've been looking for.
Are you guys going in the same cutlass?
Yeah, I just suggested to DJ maybe we should try another release and catch.
I'm down for that. I'll do the jumping again.
I'll show you guys how it's done.
While you're doing that, you could also show them like the redding out and blacking out from the crew positions, because we didn't do that the last time you guys were in there. So just like pitch, and then we'll see if DJ blacks out standing.
I'm landing up here.
Okay.
Whoa!
One pro says maybe by high quality he means no crashes. No, we don't have a different presentation. That is the presentation we did. The high quality that we did, the high quality versions of the presentations we did in the previous years were just local captures of the live stream version. It's the same presentation. Because previously to this year, we could not broadcast in progressive. The live stream box that we had capped out at interlaced at 1080i. At 1080i, it was an older box. So now we can do 1080p broadcast and in 60 frames. So those were the high quality versions we were doing before, and now we can do that natively in our broadcast due to the improvement and increase of our live stream equipment. But there is no alternate version. There is no press version or any of that. It is the demo as you saw it.
Just belly flop without the landing gear.
Loca says, will there be more ship sales during Gamescom? Just the ones that are out. I mean, there's 9 going on right now. I think that's probably plenty.
Like, DJ, don't get in just yet. Oh, never mind.
No? What was I supposed to do?
No, it's fine.
What did you want?
No, it's fine this way.
What did you want?
I just wanted to see the redding out and blacking out just like standing as crew, but this will work too.
I got you.
Yeah, that was funny when DJ was in the back of the Cutlass and Gamble was spinning around. You blocked DJ out?
Yeah.
Was it like 2 days ago? In the back?
Yeah.
He ended up passing out in the back.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Somebody in chat was curious, asked if that was possible, so I thought it'd be really easy to just recreate that.
Well, let's see. I'm out.
Okay. So, Gamble, can you like start pitching?
The question, so the press have been playing the same demo. If you watch the presentation, remember how the demo was split into 2 parts? The first part you saw was the version that the press saw earlier.
So it does work.
It does. Just passed out. Took a nap. All that jazz.
All that jazz.
All that.
All that.
All that.
All that jazz.
All that.
Oh yeah.
All that.
Now, All That Jazz, a fantastic movie with a wonderful actor, Roy Scheider. Most commonly known for because of Jaws or Sequest DSV, but All That Jazz is a fantastic movie directed by Bob Fosse and an Oscar-winning performance by Roy Scheider. Oscar nominated. I don't think he won. I can't remember.
So,
Look at that.
are we going to close the side doors this time?
Are we doing
you gotta unlock
release
the
and
doors?
catch?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
If you unlock them,
you're letting me talk like a jackass, and we're doing release and catch.
We said it. We said it like twice, 3 times, but that's okay.
You were talking. You were talking to the chat. We didn't want to interrupt
This is my
your
favorite.
chat conversation.
This is my favorite, people.
All right.
This is a new game that we invented here on the show floor. The Drake Cutlass suborbital release and catch.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
get. Let's go from the side door. I don't know if
Reverse release and catch.
If you look down in the bottom
The thing
left, it
is-
should allow you to unlock.
Yeah, but I can.
Reverse
Well,
catch and
I
release.
mean, I can try to.
All right. So Sergeant Gamble has loaded DJ Knight into a
Yeah, that's
Cutlass.
not working.
He has
That's right.
flown,
You locked it,
flown
so
up
try-
into
try it
orbit.
again.
I mean, we could close it up.
Or how about you get out of the cockpit, and then you come and open.
Yeah, but I
Just
gotta
over your
close
door.
it again as well. And if I close it while you're free falling, I would not be able to find you anymore.
So it shouldn't close.
I mean, we can take the challenge of doing it with the open side doors again. That just means that I can't. I have to it has to be a bullseye. I
Yeah,
mean,
you gotta.
Just do it.
All right. Do it.
So what's going to
Bust 'em
happen is
you
DJ
should
Knight,
go out from the side door.
DJ Knight is going to take a jump out the side of the
All
Cutlass, and Sergeant Gamble is going to flip his Cutlass around,
All right, hold on.
pass him, and try to catch him before he hits
I
the
need
ground.
to see how I'm looking here.
I'm looking at the sun.
All right.
Praise the sun.
All right, ready?
All right.
All right. I hope I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. I'm out. Ow.
Look at this ship.
All right. You gotta go to your left.
To his right.
Yeah.
Left.
All right. Yep. I got it. All right. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
All right. So up. A little bit to the left again.
Can you go
Third person?
third person?
Yeah.
Third person, DJ.
It's not working for me.
Third person not working.
My controls. I've
First
ruined my
person?
controls.
Oh shit. That's gonna make it a lot harder.
Yeah.
Can you stow your gun away? Press hold R.
Nope. Unless I like update my controls real quick.
What else are you doing right now? Go ahead, try it.
Watching for him.
This is going to be harder
It
Much
is.
harder, yeah.
without third
So
person.
to your right and up a little bit.
As we speed towards the surface of Daymar. Yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to do this unless we can get third person. You might as well take the chance.
Yeah.
Go,
All right.
go to the button, see if you can remap it quickly.
All right. Buttons.
Advanced.
Keyboard and mouse. That's controls.
We are remapping buttons as DJ falls perilously to his death.
You gonna watch me? No. No. No.
Can you spin the camera around, Gamble, see if you can see him?
He's probably somewhere down there in front of him to the left.
No, no, no. I think I'm matching his speed quite right.
So many buttons.
So many buttons.
There's all of the buttons right now. I'm trying to figure out which one I need.
Going to the few.
Akaro, there will not be a video of the demo without the hiccups. Such a video doesn't exist. The demo is what the demo is.
Flight view. Or, no, I'm sorry. That you're in flight right now.
Yeah. That's why I was down there.
You got it. Well, I'm drifting off.
This is pretty tense. You're going to hit that ground pretty fast. I mean,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
soon.
going to be horrible. I'm not ready for it.
Can you still see me somewhere?
No. And I am dead.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, maybe that's what
Let's
All right, we'll just
go ahead and
retry it
reset it. Let's go ahead and
Yeah.
reset it. You go ahead and reset it. We'll try this again.
Yeah.
Because this is worth trying.
Yeah,
That's
DJ,
what we're
try looking for cycle camera view on the on-foot settings.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was looking for. But the settings is what I was looking for.
No, you're in.
The which
you're in
area?
HOTAS right now. So go to keyboard and mouse.
There.
What else do we got going on here? Look for some questions in chat, folks. Please preface your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. It helps me pull it out from all the other conversational detritus.
That's weird.
That was dumb.
Cycle camera
Tyler?
view, not psycho camera view.
What else?
Are we still on the local server? Everybody else?
Yeah, and
All
that's a
right.
problem because there's no Cutlass right now. So what we can do is go on a separate server. Jared?
Sure.
On the bright side, my controls should be good now. So there's that, which is nice.
Question, dev interview today? No dev interview today. Developers are heading over to the, what developers are still in town are heading over to the Hyatt Beer Garden to meet with citizens who are still in the area. It's a GamesCom tradition, 5 years running.
Hey, Zylo.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Feeling dang.
Will the Constellation be flown today? No, there's no Constellation flown today. You asked this question before, Bamono. We don't have a Constellation in this build, so there is no Constellation to fly. Any news on the Reclaimer? Nope, just that it's still in active development. If you watch ATV regularly, you've seen several updates on its art pass. Once it completes the art pass, then it goes through a number of phases. It's got to go through LODs, where they basically break it down. It's got to go through damage states. They do damage states. It's got to go through FX, where all the FX and lighting are applied to it. Then it's got to go through
Hey, what a
programming and
coincidence.
engineering,
Hey.
where they figure out its flight characteristics, and it's got to go through QA and stuff. So it's still quite a ways away. I know it's on ATV maybe 5 weeks ago. They're like, "There's only 3 rooms left." That's in the art phase, which is still the very first phase of a ship's development. It still has quite a path before reaching Star Citizen alive.
Someone asks if we can go into a bit more detail into how the blood loss and health system works right now. I think it works pretty similarly to how it does in 2.6.3, in that when you shoot somebody in a limb, it starts to take damage and you start bleeding. You still have the medipens, which you can use to stop the bleeding and heal yourself. As far as I know, as far as I've seen, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Let's see.
Somebody asks, can you spawn a ground ship into a ship before leaving a space station? So I don't know about spawning a ship into a ship, but in the presentation last night, we saw them spawn an Ursa rover, and then they drove that into a constellation. In a previous ATV, they were talking about ship-in-ship technology and how that would work. And if you were then to park that constellation and then leave it, and it goes into the garage, and then you call that constellation back, ship-in-ship should have it so that it would spawn that constellation with the Ursa rover still inside it. So, yeah.
All right, so
Go hit those doors.
I seem to be having some flight issues, so but you know, I think I'll manage.
I think you got this, bro.
Are your cameras cyclable now, DJ?
Yes.
Awesome.
We already verified that.
I did.
Like instantaneously, it was like, no, let's check this.
Awesome.
all right, so Gamble has broken the atmosphere. He is opening the doors. DJ is getting ready for his suborbital flight.
All right. Going for it. Oh, yeah.
We're cleared for liftoff, DJ.
Oh no! You.
Jumped into the.
He said go.
I jumped into the ship.
Yeah, as he jumped out, he said go, and then Gamble ship slapped him.
Good
Right,
game.
I'm coming back down.
Good game. So Gamble doesn't want me to live.
DJ fall down, go boom.
Pretty much.
So the issue with the doors to the president is like, oh, he opened all the doors again. So how it works right now in this current build is that when you get into a ship on the show floor, that ship belongs to your character. Because there's no party system or whatever, the ownership is strictly to the pilot. So DJ isn't able to open any doors separately.
So there's no more stealing people's ships anymore.
Yeah. Unless
People can fail to avail themselves of the system.
Yeah, so there is an option to lock and non-lock your ship as well. Or at least there will be when the game gets released. Right now, it's locked.
Ruafu says, is the focus on finishing the netcode or more on fancy stuff like face tracking? Did you know that we can actually do both? The people who work on netcode are not the people who work on face tracking. So there's no reason we can't do both.
Did you know that there are 4 studios working on Star Citizen?
With over 500 employees, and they all do not work on the same thing. So there's no reason we can't do both.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Danthar, when the pilot gets into the seat, the doors all close automatically.
Yep. Because I can't touch him, because he's got control of him. He'd have to unlock the doors for me to be able to touch him.
Hey, Hamlet 2K, you keep asking about Track IR. I don't have an answer for you. Generally speaking, guys, if I'm not sitting here, you ask the question like 5-6 times and I'm not asking it, it's because I don't want to tell you I don't have an answer for it. It's just I'm looking for questions I actually have answers for.
And trails.
Well, 3.0 is still in active development, and peripheral testing is one of the last things that happens in a patch release. So, I suspect we'll know if how well Track IR works with 3.0 when it gets into your guys' hands and you guys tell us.
All right. How confident are you guys feeling this time around?
Much more confident.
I feel pretty good.
Will the Great Cat be spawnable in the PU? That is something we're looking at right now. There's been some discussion. I don't know where it's going to end up, but there are spawn pads down on the surface side.
Give me 1 second. Give me one second.
And there's a good chance it'll end up being spawnable.
So I have 4 of these trading cards, Disco. I bet you my Ursa rover that they're gonna fail.
well, I'll bet you my Asperia glaive
Okay.
that Gamble gets it.
Oh.
Because while Gamble may be the single worst Nox Death Race racer I've ever seen in my life, Gamble is an exceptional release and catch pilot, and he's a. I will always bet on Gamble when it comes to flying a spaceship.
You know,
just
I
not-
will raise your Asperia glaive with 2 Asperia glaives.
So you're betting on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you make it,
Usually one
we'll
of the
give
glaive.
out 3 Asperia glaive cards, and if you fail, all
I get the pool.
right.
All right.
I believe in you, Gamble.
All right.
I'm gonna go
Yeah, I'm not gonna
on
turn,
go,
yeah,
and then
yeah, I'm
you
gonna
can
look.
go after.
I'm gonna go.
All right, because I don't want to die.
All right,
Hey,
you're,
Gamble.
you're not gonna die.
Gamble. Before you start, hold on. Before you start, do Alt V or Shift Alt V. Doesn't that do the rear camera? Is that still? It's Alt V or Shift Alt V.
My keyboard bindings are
Yeah.
gone.
We have German keyboards to that too, so the buttons are in different places.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm out.
All right. All right.
There you go.
All right.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You're kind of like going into a weird direction.
I'm going down. I don't know what direction you're talking about.
Look at his screen.
Oh wow, that would have been great if you would have been bold enough
That is
to
a-
like go sideways and then
There you
catch
go.
me in the side door.
There you go. Now
All right,
let's
so
just.
to your
Do what you
right.
know. Do what you know. Yeah.
To your right.
Yeah, that's beautiful. This is beautiful.
The view of the Cutlass actually flying past
bit
him
more.
as he was falling could have been
Oh,
like a
right.
cinematic or
Right.
something easily.
Up a bit.
Oh,
And then to right,
yeah,
slightly?
hold on. I
Are
need
the
to
side
go.
doors closed this time?
No.
No.
Oh, hold on. Gotta match your speed a little bit.
Okay.
Can he do
Right.
it?
Can you go
I don't-
like in my person so I can strafe, so I can see where I'm strafing? Yeah, like that.
Your person is
Awesome.
here.
Awesome.
There's quiet on the field. DJ Knight is falling quickly to his death on the surface of Daymar. Sergeant Gamble, pilot of the Drake Cutlass, is doing his best to position himself directly beneath DJ Knight's descent and scoop him up
Slowly.
in the
slowly.
rear.
Slow down,
Slow.
slow down.
Slow.
Got him!
Yes.
Got him!
High five.
I would have done
there
a
we
mic
go.
drop, but that will blow your ears out, so I'm not gonna. So
Yeah,
just
that was
pretend.
No, my Ursa.
Gamble.
My
Clip
Ursa.
it, post it. Well done.
Clutch.
Oh.
Well done.
I'm not even sad. I'm not even sad.
It's
You can-
like
you can have
it was that good. Like we could do it another. We could do it again.
We got time. All right, I'm jumping out.
No.
sure?
Quit where you're head.
Yes.
Hey.
Now this
If you're that good a
this
pilot.
is the second time. This is the second time that Gamble successfully done this. The first time, DJ went
Fire.
in and went right out the side door again.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Because we tried that the first day.
Yeah.
And then you and Meyer did it, and you caught him.
Yeah.
And he went out the side door. So it feels good that the original duo got it done.
That was fantastic.
Glorious.
Somebody clip that, please. Somebody clip that, the catch, please, and
Tweet it,
send it
post
to me
it.
on Twitter, please.
Side door challenge. Everyone's demanding it.
Side door challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
I'm good.
okay.
All right.
Side
All
door
right.
challenge.
Man.
Are we still going down? Or want to do it
Yeah,
now?
we're gonna go back.
All right,
I
let's
might
get
need
it.
a little longer for that. So
We're pushing it. Side door challenge.
Wait, what's the side door challenge?
The
Catch
same
him
thing
through the
but through
side door. He's got to try to scoop him in through the side door.
Chad.
Okay. I was thinking, what if he just like went through one door and out the other? Like if
That's
it was
what we already did that one. We
Oh,
did that
really?
the first time.
By accident.
Yeah, we did that the first time.
through the back door. on
Chad,
the
I'm
side.
gonna need you on this one. I need a little hype for this because the side door challenge is a whole different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna have to catch him and then roll. Otherwise, it's gonna go right through.
So
Bring that hype
So
back.
chat, drop your
Yeah.
emotes in chat. Get some hype going.
Oh,
I'm usually
man.
not the hype guy,
But now he is.
but we're going.
This
for
is
the
a
side,
hype
we're going
situation.
for the side door challenge now.
All right. So
Well, I guess I'm sticking around now because I gotta
Wow.
see this.
That
Bring
was
hype.
amazing.
Bring that
man.
hype. Bring it.
Okay,
We need it.
Everybody on the show floor was like, what?
You ready?
We need it. We need it.
all right, doors are open, right?
All right.
Okay, cool.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm out. All right, looking at you, I am to your.
There you go.
Oh wow, you turned.
He's got you. He's got you.
Oh, see, you're going to do it sideways. I was thinking just like while you're going down, just like straight into the right. You're going to do it a whole other way.
You were going to try to scoop him like an ice cream scoop.
Yeah.
So basically, once he enters the cutlass, he has to roll.
Yeah.
Barrel roll. Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, basically, yes. If you do it like this, Gamble, you basically have to, the second he's inside, you have to roll, yeah. High level of difficulty.
Now, I don't know
The
if that's
thing
a
is,
barrel roll.
I'm not doing it decoupled, so I'm doing it while strafing, which is kind of hard because it kind of looks like I'm getting.
Go a little further. You want to go to your right.
DJ Knight,
Yes.
once again, falling perilously to his doom on the surface of
Seconds.
Daymar. Sergeant
Oh,
Gamble,
there we go. There we go.
going for the recovery, an incredibly high level of difficulty. In order to enact this,
Y'all left. Yeah, I got
he
you.
has to alter all of his movements by 90 degrees. And if he's lucky enough to get DJ Knight to fall within the side door, he must immediately roll the ship and prevent DJ Knight from just falling out the opposing door.
This is golf of the future. Or at least golf commentary of the future. This is good. Maybe strafe backwards so you can actually get to it.
Knight Rider, thank you for clipping that, but please send it to me on Twitter so I don't lose it in the myriad of Twitch chat.
Hello, Knight Rider.
Looks like Sergeant Gamble's having a little difficulty here, trying to line it up.
Hard
You just have
left.
to fly almost exclusively with strafe. Oh, we're now re-entering the atmosphere. You can see the atmospheric re-entry effects affecting the colors.
All right, left and down.
Yeah, keep the camera steady now. That's too long.
Still,
I got
still
it.
plenty of time.
I got it.
In our previous attempts, Sergeant Gamble made 3 attempts at catching DJ before
Oh.
DJ cratered perilously on the surface of Daymar.
That's such a cool shot.
Yeah. He's coming.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Here it is.
Can we turn?
Dude, I gotta figure out so many controls right now. Can you look at me?
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
You got this. You got this.
DJ, just reach out and grab him.
With his extendo arms. All right, you got this, guys. You got this. Just straight. Whoa.
Okay.
I believe. I
Okay.
believe.
That seesaw of death, though.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Look at me. Look at me. Oh God! No, you got
I'm going to be in a meeting
Hard
with
left.
Chris Roberts on Monday, and he's going to ask me what we did on the show floor. And somehow I'm going
When
to
are you
have
gonna
to
show
explain
him this
to him.
footage? It's like what? I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, he'll love it.
Oh, this is so hard, dude.
down,
Yeah,
straight
without
down.
without the coupled mode, this is the hardest thing ever. Ooh, okay.
You got a pancake.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
No, wait,
All right.
Now, for those of you just joining us,
Now that right there, that
Sergeant-
can work nicely.
Sergeant Gamble has already recovered DJ in midfall through the rear door. He is attempting the often fabled, never completed side door scoop.
So now this could work. All you need to do is straight right.
Straight right and up a bit.
Hey.
Oh.
You're watching the Drake Interplanetary Flutog only on twitch.tv/Star Citizen. Sergeant Gamble, members in chat are asking, why are you not using decoupled?
Because that's not the challenge. I just have to like do it like this, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this is.
Sergeant Gamble may have to
Right.
bail the technique
Yeah,
and
right.
just capture DJ Knight using the rear door to save his life.
Or I could just like.
No, it's either this or he dies.
Yeah.
Daredevil DJ Knight has already signed his death waiver.
This is true. It's a worthy maneuver.
No. It's so weird.
Perfect left.
His name will either go down in the record books.
To the gentleman in chat
Or be engraved on a tombstone.
asking
Exactly.
when questions, the answer would be when they're ready. That's about the only thing I can tell you.
Oh, it's such a small door.
I know.
It is.
And I don't want to force it on him, you know?
It's all right. In this one instance,
Just catch it.
Just reach and grab it.
You're going too far away.
I know.
Really gives you an idea of the scale of this moon. The fact that he's still falling. It doesn't even seem like he's gotten closer.
Exactly. Some people are curious as to if he's actually just stuck in the air. They've actually come
I
through
am not.
re-entry.
If you look in the bottom left of the screen.
you know you're still falling because Gamble has been facing straight down and still moving forward the entire time. They are moving towards the surface of Daymar. I'm just going to collect my my cards here, Meyer.
Damn it.
I actually set the camera and left it alone so that you can watch the bottom left of the screen where those mountains are. It'll continuously show you more of those mountains because this isn't a free fall.
Can you look in
So I gotta change it now though. But yeah, that is the thing.
Right.
So I gotta
right.
go right.
Yeah.
Right. Nice.
So Gamble is using the X56 joystick in this maneuver to give him a bit more granular precision in his strafing.
Hey, Gamble.
Yeah.
I kind of just want to see you fly into DJ at full speed, kill him.
I'm not a fan of that idea.
Okay.
You do see Daymar getting
Rap-
larger in the view.
Rapidly
Look at it.
approaching.
The ground is getting a bit bigger. Come on.
Oh dear.
See, if you just try and slam into him, maybe he'll go in.
Why not just like position yourself so you're trying to do the original catch and release, then strafe and then strafe
This
again?
is it. Swatted like a fly. Nope.
Yeah. With the tip of the nose, though.
Oh wow.
Ooh-wee.
All right, I need to practice on the side door.
This will when Alpha 3.0 comes out. This will be all Gamble does for the first week. Everybody else will be doing missions and exploring the different moons. And Sergeant Gamble is just going to be face down, like a dreidel, like a Drake
That
dreidel.
could be the next level of a Big Benny's challenge. Dropping
Alright,
the Big Benny out of the back.
All right, guys.
Testing it.
So, what's next? We're actually almost out of time
Yeah.
for our broadcast today.
And for GamesCom
And for GamesCom,
2017.
yes.
You never did do your railgun sniper battle.
That's true.
Well, you're on the server with just the two of you right now, so there's not a whole lot to do without everybody else on the map at the moment.
Do you want them to swap over, or?
Well, they're swapping right now, so it's a good time.
Yeah, this is a good time. Why don't you guys swap
Perfect.
over?
Right.
You guys swap over. There we go. Get into their server. See if we can't have a little fun with the show floor goers before we leave. What's going on, chat?
Is this live right now? AUS_red. No, it is not.
This
I am
video was
reading your
recorded
question.
3 days ago.
This video is live right now. What you're watching now is happening now.
Right.
What happened to then?
What happened today?
We passed it. When?
Just now.
When will then be now?
Soon.
Oh, well, we're waiting on the swap. Let's go ahead and take a look. We don't have the dragonfly in the game in the game right now, so let's watch this nifty video of the dragonfly, which is coming in Star Citizen Alpha 3.0. like this very stylized. Unfortunately, you see the Sand Nomad from our CitizenCon 2016 demo.
Designed by Jeremiah Lee.
J. Lee Sounds.
The way this is done reminds me of the opening cinematics of the Deadpool movie.
Those are great videos.
See, the Dragonfly is just a. Should be right with friends.
Yeah.
Nox is a video for people without friends. Okay.
Oh, there goes the Gamescom presentation suit again. You just ran
Yep,
past it.
right here.
Yeah, check it out. He's going into an Aurora that's just about to get blown up by another player.
For those of you asking about a Constellation Aquila video, we do have a Constellation Aquila video. I am making it public on our YouTube channel right now.
Right now.
So if you want to see the Constellation Aquila video, you can check that out on our YouTube channel right now. I'll probably make it go on here. Hold on. Let's see if I can make it go on here. Constellation.
I'm trying to find a railgun, but I've spawned in here for like a couple of days
It's
now.
on your left there.
And I can
No,
still...
no, no, on your right. And then just there. It should be that box. Past that box. Past that box. That one.
Right
Yeah.
here. Very large. Ooh, very large. It's a 4K video. There we go. Look at that.
4K video of the Constellation Aquila.
Aquila.
You can see it has a radar instead of a usual turret that goes on the dorsal turret. The ventral turret still seems to look like a turret to me. Like a gun turret.
I like the teal doors.
Yeah.
I like teal as a color.
Teal is a good color.
I used to work for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. The Rancho Cucamonga Quakes were a single A professional baseball team. And their colors back when I worked for them were teal and black.
Right.
And so for a good almost 5 years, half my wardrobe was teal and black. Teal and black.
Well, the pronunciation of words change, you know, throughout the centuries. So why
But
can't
it's always been Aquila.
Oh.
Oh, crash. Crash. So, it's become very apparent that today's build is not as stable as yesterday's build. Yesterday, where we had no crashes, no, yesterday we had one crash. The build before that, we had no crashes. So yes, so at least at the very least, this works as a wonderful demonstration about how progress is sometimes one step forward, two steps back. Anytime you change anything, you create new variables, and you fix three things, and you end up causing a crash in something else. So that is obviously what we are experiencing here on the show floor today. But you know, since that's happening right now, this is about as good a time as to wrap this up as any. So, guys, that's it. That's it. We have a short, abbreviated stream today. We are all going to head out to the Hyatt Beer Garden and meet with our Star Citizen backers that are here in the Cologne area. What more can I say? This is a blast. We started streaming from the show floor last year with our 4 community streamers, Captain Richard, Twerk17, Bad News Baron, and the incomparable DJ Knight.
Hello.
We came back this year with Sergeant Gamble and Meyer Test. You know what? This year and the last year. This is one of the. This is honestly one of the highlights of my year. I enjoy doing this a lot. Don't touch me. I was trying to have a moment, and you ruined it by not knowing your place.
It was worth it.
We're not there, Meyer.
It was
It's right
worth it.
here
We're
between
not
you
there.
and me, Jared.
No, Gamble and I are there. You like to make up too many rules about your races.
I agree with that.
We're not
though.
there yet.
Yeah, I was going to go up for you, but you know, these guys.
I'm just gonna hang back here
He's
because I
kinda
feel
right.
like I'm there, but I'm not. I'm too far for the fist bump right now.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend checking out days 1, 2, and 3 from the show floor. At the very least, not just for our gameplay shenanigans, but for some excellent interviews with Brian Chambers, Aaron Roberts, and Eric Davis over the course of the week. Remember, the Gamescom presentation itself is up on YouTube in all of its glory, in all of its unedited glory. You can see live game development and live demo at its at its most real. Let's put it that way. So, for Star Citizen from Gamescom, signing off, I'm Community Content Manager Jared Huckabee. That's Meyer, that's Gamble, that's DJ. Tyler Wickett's running around. Tyler Nolan holding down the fort at home. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll return back to our normal broadcast schedule next week. See you later, everybody. That's the point where I'm going to